Hello children, welcome to our today's session of Social and Political Life Part 1. Children, in the last session we were seeing about lesson number 8, the life of rural livelihood. Okay, our lesson name was rural livelihood. So in this lesson we have seen the life of the people of a village called as Kalapattu, which is situated near the sea coast of Tamil Nadu. So apart from farming, what other activities they perform? That has been described in this lesson, children. Again, what are the services provided, what are the extra services provided by the people of this village, and then we have seen apart from farming, there were also small shops where which was one of the occupation of the people of this village. Then we have seen about in this lesson we have seen the story of a farmer called Tulsi. Okay, she was a farmer and she was working in Ramalingam's farm, and she used to work from morning 8:30 to 4:30, and daily wages which she used to get from this rich landowner, that is Ramalingam, was rupees 40 per day. Then apart from this farming, she also works many other extra activities also she does, like going to forest, collecting the forest products, then fetching water, going too far distance to bring water, then doing all household chores and all such works she does. Again, we have seen about Shekhar. Okay, not Shekhar, her husband Raman. We have seen that he too is a laborer, he too works in the farm, he sprays pesticides in the field of Ramalingam. Then apart from this, he also works for like loading sand or rocks, then going from one place to another in a lorries, like that. And then we have seen how they have sold their cow, okay, to pay once what happened, her daughter was Tulsi's daughter was ill, then they have to sell their cow to pay the fees of this of her cure, okay, to pay the fees of the doctor. So how means, in spite of working so much, how poor they are not getting much money for to live, to spend their, to earn their livelihood. Again, we have seen the story of Shekhar. Okay, he is a small farmer, he is having a small land near about 2 acres. Then at the time of harvesting, he takes the help of some other farmers for harvesting. Then again when he doesn't have work at home at his own field, then he goes to work in the field of others, and he also helps the other farmers in harvesting. Then, and on being death, what does these farmers do, children? Okay, like for purchasing the pesticides or for purchasing small seeds, pesticides, other tools, they take money, or they take money as a loan from the rich farmers, rich landowners. And but sometimes the condition becomes so worst, like suppose if rains are not there, then what will happen? Their crops will not grow. So in such situation, what happens? They are unable to pay the loan, and in this condition, in this situation, they become debt. Debt means, I told you, karz. Okay, so they become debt, and once they are not able to pay the money, so sometimes this may lead to commit a suicide. So this is a case why many of the farmers are committing suicide, because of the debt which they are not able to pay to the from whom they have purchased. So in the last session we have read till Shekhar, the story of Shekhar. Now we will be continuing our lesson, children, with agricultural laborers and farmers in India. So in this lesson, in Kalapattu village, there are agricultural laborers like Tulsi, and many small farmers like Shekhar, and a few big farmers like Ramalingam. So in India, nearly about 2 out of every rural families are agricultural laborer families, and all of them depend on the work they do on other people's field to earn a living. So many of them are landless, and others may own very small plots of land. Even here, in case of small farmers like Shekhar, their land is barely enough to meet their needs. Means in India, almost 80% of farmers belong to this category. Means they are having very small land, and it is hardly for them to meet their needs. So other times they are going to work in the fields of other farmers, and 20% is like Ramalingam, who are rich farmers or rich landowners. Then we have looked at farming in Kalapattu. So apart from farming, many people in rural areas, they depend on the, as I have told you in the starting, like many people, apart from farming, they go to forest to collect the different forest products. Okay. So they depend upon the forest, then animal husbandry, dairy produce, fishing, etc. For example, in some villages in central India, both farming and collection from the forest are important source of their livelihood. Means not only farming, but even collection from the forest, both are the important source of their livelihood. Like they collect the mahua, tendu leaves, honey, that to be which has to be sold to the traders. It is an important source of their additional income. Means they have to work in addition to farming, they have to work they have to do work they have to depend on some other activities also to earn their livelihood. Similarly, then again apart from collecting forest products, again they have, similarly there is selling milk is also an occupation in that village. So here similarly selling milk to the village cooperative society or taking milk to the nearby town may be the main source of livelihood for some families. In the coastal areas, we find fishing villages. Okay. So selling milk is also an occupation in that village. Then apart from selling milk, another occupation is on which the people depend is fishing. Okay. So let us find more about the lives of fishing families. Now we are going to read the story. Okay. We are going to see the story, a case study of fishing family here. Okay. Called Aruna and Pari Velan, who lived in Pudupet. Now where is this Pudupet? It is a village which is close to Kalapattu. So she is a Aruna. Okay. Now we are going to see the story. What is the story of her? Okay. What is the story of Aruna? She is a fisher woman. Aruna and Pari Velan. Not very far from Kalapattu is the village of Pudupet. Okay. Means Kalapattu is not very far away, it is near to Kalapattu. This Pudupet is near to Kalapattu. People here, they earn their living by fishing. So here in this village, the people, the main occupation of the people is fishing. Their houses are close to the sea and one finds row of catamarans and nets lying around. So when we go, when one is going through that village, there we can see houses, okay, which are very close to the sea, and we can see nets lying around. At about 7 o'clock in the morning, there is a lot of activity on the beach. Means if at 7 o'clock if you go there, you can see a lot of activities, or lot of works, lot of activities are going at that site, on that beach. This is the time when the catamarans return with their catch and women gather to buy and sell the fish. So it is a time when the catamarans return with their catch, means the people who the fishermen who go to fetch the fishes, okay, who go to catch the fishes, they return at that time near about 7 o'clock, and that is why we can see so much rush on that area, so much rush in that place. So this is a time when they return with their catch and women gather to buy and sell the fish. Now what she is saying? She is saying, my husband Pari Velan, okay, my brother and my brother-in-law came in late today. So what she is saying? Myself, my husband Pari Velan, my brother and my brother-in-law, we came today late. I was very worried. She is saying they came late today, so she was worried. They go to the sea, what she is saying now? They go to the sea together in our catamaran. So what is this catamaran? Catamaran is a boat, okay. You must have seen the fishermen sitting on the type of boat on which they go for catching the fishes. So they go to the sea together in our catamaran. So she is saying that her husband her brother and her brother-in-law, all these three people together, they go to the sea to catch the fishes in this boat, in this catamaran. They said they were caught in the storm. So, why she was what she is saying, why she was worried? She was worried because they said her that there was a storm. So, she was worried about them. I have kept aside some fish for the family. So, she is saying, I have, out of these fishes, I have kept some fishes for my family. I will auction the rest, means before selling the fish only she has kept some of the fish for her family. Then she is saying the rest of the fishes I will auction. So, what do you mean by auction, children? Auction means bidding, okay, or in Hindi we can say as lilav, in Marathi we tell it as nilav, okay. So, it's the rest of the fishes she kept for auction. Now, what here actually the fishermen do, children, when they catch the fishes, okay, when they bring the fishes, that time they will not sell small parts of the fish, they will sell the whole basket of the fish, like wholesale. When we go to wholesaler shop, how they sell all together, okay, bundles of things together. So, same, or in kgs. So, same here also the fishermen on the beach, okay. So, she is doing, she is keeping auction, means the whole basket she will sell to one person only, and the person who will take the basket of fish for a higher price, then it will go to them, means she will sell the whole basket of fish to that particular person. So, here it is, this process is called as auction. Then what she is saying, the money I get from the auction will be divided into 4 shares, and whatever money she will receive, okay, after selling the fish, after the auction, that money will be divided in among 4 members. Now, who are these 4 members? See, each one for each person who went fishing, and the 4th one is for the equipment. So, 4 shares means one is for her husband, then one is for her brother, third portion will go to her brother-in-law, and the 4th portion is for the equipment, okay. Since we own the catamaran, now this catamaran, this boat is their own, okay, they have not hired. So, what she is saying, since we own this catamaran, engine and nets, we get that share too. So, since that boat belongs to them, the engine and nets, everything belongs to her. So, that even the shares go, that too share will go to her, means the share of the boat or the engine or the nets, it will go to her, because that belongs to her only. We have taken a loan from a bank and purchased an engine which is fixed onto the catamaran. So, what she is saying, we have taken a loan from the bank and that we have purchased an engine, okay. So, they have purchased an engine on loan from the bank, and which is fixed on this catamaran. Now, why they have fixed the engine? So that they can go far into the sea, or they can get a better catch. So, why they have fixed an engine? So that they can go very far into the sea, so that they can get a better catch, more fishes they can catch. The women who buy fish here will carry it in baskets to be sold in nearby villages. So, when she is selling the fishes, when she is selling the fishes for auction, that time many women also come to purchase the fish from her. So, what these women do? They will take the fish in bulk from her, and then they will go and sell these fishes in small quantities, okay. So, the women who buys fish here will carry it in baskets to be sold in nearby villages. So, they take the fishes from her in wholesale rate, and then they sell it in retail rates nearby their villages. Then there are others like traders who buy for the shops in the town. Apart from these women, there are other traders also, okay, who buy for the shops, who buy these fishes for the shops in their town. Means these traders, they do the business of purchasing from purchasing the fishes from her and then selling it to the shopkeepers. I will only finish this auction by noon. So, what she is saying, near about by 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, I will complete my auction. Then in the evening, my husband and our relatives will untangle and repair our nets. Means then from by evening, the work of repairing the nets, it will go on. Means again they have to next day they have to go to catch the fish early in the morning. So, their work starts from the evening only. So, in the evening my husband and our relatives will untangle and repair our nets. Early tomorrow morning around 2 a.m. they will set out to sea again. See children, means they do not sleep at night, okay. Early in the near about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock only they set out to catch the fish in the sea, because that is the time when they can catch number of fishes. So, they will set out to sea again at early in the morning at 2 a.m. Every year for at least about 4 months during the monsoon, they cannot go to the sea, because this is the when the fish breeds. Means every year 4 months they do not do fishing, okay children, they do not go for fishing, because that is the time of breeding of the fishes. So, they do not catch the fish. Then during these months we survive by borrowing from the traders. So, what she is saying, so during these 4 months when we can't go for fishing, that 4 months we have to borrow money from the traders and we have to survive. Means they have to take money, okay, for their livelihood, to earn to eat food or to bring, they need money, okay. So, this money they take from the traders. So, they borrow from the traders, and because of this, then what happens, later on we are forced to sell the fish to that particular trader and we cannot do our auction. So, again here they are facing problem children. See 4 months, because the 4 months they can't go do fishing, then what do? For to earn their livelihood, they borrow from the traders. So, in return what they have to do, again in return, when they after this 4 months when they go for fishing, that time they have to sell these fishes to that traders from where they have borrowed, okay. And because of these problems they cannot do auction, means they cannot sell the fishes to other persons at a higher rates. So, those lean months are the most difficult. Last year we suffered a lot because of tsunami. So, you must have heard the word tsunami, okay. So, tsunami means a type of earthquake in the sea, in the water. So, because in the last year what she is saying? She is saying that due to tsunami last year they have suffered a lot. Now, we are going to see about rural livelihood. Again here people in rural areas, they earn their living in various ways. Some work on farms while others earn their living on non-farm activities. So, in rural areas, that is in town villages, people apart from agriculture, there are also other non-farm activities like some earn their living on non-farm activities. Working on farms involves operations such as preparing the land, means working for growing the crops. There is a process children, okay, you can't just go and directly sow the seeds. There is a process involved, a lengthy process is involved, like first they have to prepare the proper land, okay, they have to see whether the soil is fertile, they have to prepare the land for it, then they have to sow the seeds. Again when the crops will grow, when the crops will grow when the plant they become young plants. That time they have to do weeding. Weeding means removing the unwanted plants, and then finally comes the harvesting of the crops. Harvesting means once finally the crops have grown, then they have to cut the crops. It is called as harvesting. Here, so we depend on nature for the growth of these crops. So, for growing these crops, they depend upon the nature, means they depend upon the rain. Okay, the main important factor is rain. They depend upon the rain. Again, they depend upon the summer season. We depend upon the nature of the growth of these crops. Hence, life revolves around certain seasons. People are busy during sowing and harvesting and less at other times. So, what it is meant? It is trying to tell us that people are busy during the month from June to December, like when they are sowing the seeds, when the crops are growing, that time they are busy with harvesting, then they are busy with weeding, all these such activities. Then after that months, after that period, there is very less work. So, during this time they go to some other cities or other towns to search the job. Rural people in different regions of the country grow different crops. However, we do find similarities in their life situations and in the problems they face. So, though the crops are different in different area, in different villages, okay. In south we can see mainly they grow paddy, whereas in north we can see they grow mainly the wheat. So, there is a differences for crops which are grown in different regions, but still there are similarities, okay, in their life situations. Means almost all the farmers they are facing the same problems of debt, or mainly their farms agriculture is depending on the rain. So, however, we do find similarities in their life situations and in the problems that they face. How people are able to survive or earn will depend upon the land that they cultivate. Means the survival of the people of these villages so it mostly depends upon the land that they cultivate. Okay, if the soil is fertile, if the land is of good quality, then of course the whatever they are producing the crops, it will be of best only. So, and also it depends upon the seasons and upon the nature. Many depend on these lands for work as laborers. So, many people of these villagers, they are the laborers, they work as the laborers on these lands. Most farmers, they grow crops both for their own requirements and also to sell in the market. So, most of the farmers, they grow the crops for both for their own requirement and also to sell in the market. Some have to sell to traders from whom they have borrowed money. So, out of this also the farmers, they have this many farmers, they borrow money, okay, for their equipments. They borrow money from the banks as a loan, or they borrow money from the big rich landowners. So, again they have to pay to these farmers. So, most of the farmers, they grow crops both for their own requirements and also to sell in the market. Some have to, so once they have, if they have purchased, if they have borrowed a loan, then they have to sell to the traders from where they have borrowed. So, they have to sell the crops to that particular traders from whom they have borrowed the loan, and that too then they will sell at, they have to sell at a low cost. So, again there is a loss for these farmers only. For their survival, many families need to borrow money for their work, or when no work is available. Means again to survive, okay, again in spite of doing such so hard work, again they have to borrow money when there is no work in the field. So, they have to borrow money for their survival when there is no work available to them. There are some families in rural areas which thrive on large acres of lands business and other activities. Means again some farmers, some families are very poor and some families are very rich, near about 20% of families are rich. They are having large acres of land, then they are doing business, they are having shops, they are having mills, okay, and many other activities apart from farming. They are having many other, they are engaged in many other activities, and here the rich persons are becoming rich and rich, okay, rich farmers, rich landowners, they are becoming rich and rich, and the poor farmers, they are becoming poor and poor. So, we can see so much inequality among the farmers. However, most small farmers, agricultural laborers, fishing families, craft persons in the village, they do not find enough work to keep them employed throughout the year. So, these small farmers, okay, then the fishermen, again the laborers and the crafts persons in the village, they do not find the work throughout the year. Only for a particular particular seasons they find the work, and again after once that season gets over, once that festival or something that event gets over, then again they are jobless, they don't have any work. So, here they have to struggle a lot for their survival, and thus they migrate from village to village or from one place to another in search of job to earn their livelihood. So, children, here we have seen, we have gone through the lesson, your lesson gets over, okay. So, we will see the audio, okay, and then we will recapitulate the lesson.
Village life is the most traditional and natural way of living for the humankind. A village presents a panorama of and natural way of living for the humankind. A village presents a panorama of charming scenes of nature, traditional living in tune with nature. Kalpattu is a small and peaceful village of Tamil Nadu surrounded by low hills. The settlements range from tiny hamlets of thatched huts to larger settlements of brick house. People of the village lead a simple life. They are contented with the basic necessities of life. Look here, an old woman sitting outside her house is cleaning the rice. The village streets are lined with small tea shops. They sell tiffin in the morning and snacks in the evening. Small vegetable vendors sitting beneath the coconut groves sell farm fresh vegetables to the villagers. Kalpattu has numerous village schools aided by the government to provide basic education. Selling milk to the village cooperative society is the main source of income for some families. Women in the village collect cow dung to use it as fuel or manure. The women work hard in the field and also do the household chores. They spend 3 to 4 hours a day to get drinking water for their families. The villagers use the traditional and eco-friendly mode of transport, bullock cart. Each household transports its produce in its own cart. Agriculture is the main occupation. Most of the villagers are farmers and laborers. They work in fields. Living in the lap of Mother Nature, life in a village is complete with health, wealth and happiness.
So, children, you have seen the video. Hope you have understood. Now, just we will have this table, okay. Here we are going to compare the situation of Shekhar and Ramalingam by filling the table. So, take your pencil and write in the table, children. Shekhar land cultivated. How much land was cultivated by Shekhar? It was about 2 acres. So, here you can write about 2 acres. And Ramalingam about 20 acres. Okay. Then next one, labor required. So, here during the harvesting period, he requires few laborers to work in his farm. But whereas Ramalingam, he depends on the laborers, okay, totally he depends on the laborers, and here Shekhar only during harvesting he depends upon the laborers. Then loan requires, yes, so Shekhar in this column you write yes, he requires the loan, and the Ramalingam, no, he doesn't requires the loan. Next, selling of harvest. So here Shekhar, he sells the harvest to the traders, right, at a lower price than that is in the market. So he sells the goods, or he sells the crops to the traders at lower price, and whereas Ramalingam, he sells the paddy or crops directly in the market. Then other work done by them, so Shekhar, he works in Ramalingam's rice mill, okay, apart from farming he also works in the mill or rice mill of Ramalingam, and Ramalingam here he himself is the owner of the rice mill. So children, here we are, so here your lesson gets over, okay, just go through this lesson, read the lesson, then we'll meet you in the next session for the next lesson, which will be our last lesson. So we'll meet you in the till then meet you in the next session. Till then, goodbye, thank you.